Hello friends, welcome back. Across vast open lands, bison are raised on a massive scale to produce some of the most premium meat in the world. From careful breeding to large-scale processing, every step is tightly controlled. Stay with us as we go inside the industry to see how bison farming really works. Today, the bison industry in the United States remains relatively small, yet highly valuable. Approximately 192,000 bison are raised across nearly 2,000 private ranches nationwide. Each year, around 80,000 bison are processed under federal inspection, a fraction compared to the cattle industry, but with significantly higher per-unit value. What sets bison apart is the meat itself. Bison meat is naturally leaner than beef, with lower fat and cholesterol, while delivering high levels of protein and essential nutrients. This combination has positioned bison as a premium, health-focused alternative in the American meat market. Building on its premium positioning, bison farming in the United States follows a fundamentally different approach from conventional cattle operations. Most bison are raised entirely on open grasslands, relying on natural grazing rather than confined barns or feedlots. Ranchers limit human intervention as much as possible. Bison are typically not dehorned or castrated, allowing them to retain their natural behaviors and instincts. According to industry surveys, nearly 65% of bison ranches do not use antibiotics, and almost half avoid genetically modified feed altogether. This low-intervention, grass-based system prioritizes animal resilience, reduces stress, and plays a critical role in preserving the quality and integrity of bison meat. Because bison are raised with minimal human intervention, herd management becomes a careful balancing act rather than a numbers game. Instead of expanding aggressively, most ranchers focus on keeping herds healthy and stress levels low, which is why the average bison herd in the U.S. numbers just around 77 animals. Biology plays a major role. Bison reproduce more slowly than cattle, and overcrowding can quickly lead to injuries or instability within the herd. To maintain order, ranches typically separate animals into distinct groups, including breeding cows, mature bulls, yearlings, and weaned calves. This deliberate, low-density approach raises a key question. Can quality truly exist without sacrificing scale? Once bison reach the appropriate market weight, the next challenge begins: transportation. Unlike cattle, bison are highly sensitive to unfamiliar environments, making stress management the top priority during transit. Only healthy animals that meet strict weight and condition standards are selected for transport. Loading and unloading are handled through specialized systems designed specifically for bison, using gradual movement, solid barriers, and minimal human contact to prevent panic. For ranchers and workers alike, safety is critical. A stressed bison can be dangerous to both itself and people. This careful transition from open pasture to processing facility sets the tone for everything that follows. Once bison arrive at the processing stage, the scale of the industry becomes even more apparent. Across the United States, there are only around 9 federally inspected bison processing facilities, scattered across multiple states. This limited infrastructure makes logistics far more complex than in the beef industry, where plants are widespread and highly centralized. Inside these facilities, the process follows a tightly controlled sequence: cleaning, dehairing, precise cutting, and rigorous quality control. Due to their size and muscle density, a single bison carcass averages about 586 pounds, significantly larger than most cattle. Handling that mass safely requires experience, precision, and specialized equipment. The premium price of bison meat comes down to one simple reality: limited supply and deliberate restraint. With far fewer animals raised and processed each year, bison meat remains scarce compared to conventional beef. More importantly, bison are raised in low-stress, forage-based systems, allowing them to grow naturally without growth hormones or intensive feeding. This slower, hands-off approach produces meat that is high in protein, naturally lean, and lower in fat, with a clean, rich flavor. Unlike fast food beef designed for volume, premium bison cuts reflect patience, control, and respect for the animal qualities that consumers are increasingly willing to pay for. Today, bison meat is widely recognized as a healthy, lean protein, making it especially popular among consumers following paleo and keto diets. As awareness grows, demand continues to expand beyond niche markets into mainstream grocery stores and restaurants. Looking ahead, the industry is investing in cleaner technology, improved animal welfare, and grass-fed production, while carefully avoiding the pitfalls of OVE.
Hello, my friends. Let's dive into a story as American as a juicy BBQ burger. The comeback of the American bison. These mighty beasts, our nation's emblem since 2016, power a premium meat industry worth $496,700,000 0 cents in 2025. Growing at 6.2% a year, Across the US, about 192,477 bison roam private ranches, per the 2022 USDA census. Each year, roughly 60,000 are processed under federal inspection, down 21% from 2024, supplying lean, nutrient-rich meat to grills and tables. Is the wild part, bison nearly vanished. From 30 million in the 800S, they crashed to under 1,000 due to overhunting, think Buffalo Bill, and habitat loss. Conservationists, indigenous tribes and ranchers saved them. Yellowstone became a haven. Now, with nearly 200,000 farm-raised bison and a 1,031% surge on native land since 2012, they're thriving. Over 5,000 roam wild in Yellowstone in 2025. This is more than a comeback, it's a sustainable meat revolution, blending history with modern diets. Curious? Stick with us to see how bison keep their wild spirit on ranches and plates. Back in the day, 30 million bison ruled America's plains. They were everything to indigenous tribes: meat for meals, hides for clothes, bones for tools, and sacred symbols. Then the 19th century hit hard. Settlers moved west. Railroads fueled mass hunts. Hides piled up and campaigns targeted native life. By the late 800s, fewer than 1,000 bison remained. Extinction loomed until heroes stepped up. Tribes, ranchers, and conservationists rebuilt herds. Yellowstone offered refuge. Today, 1,986 ranches span the U.S. Fueling a green meat industry. How do they raise these giants today? Bison life starts on open ranges. In spring, after 9 months, cows give birth to 55-pound calves, cute red dogs with rusty coats, up and walking in minutes. They nurse, then switch to prairie grasses, alfalfa and grains by 6 months. This builds lean muscle for that sweet gamey flavor. By 2 to 3 years, they're 1,000 to 2,000 pounds of pure power. Think they're just big cows? Nope. Bison are wild at heart. Let's see how ranchers keep up. Bison roam free, munching tough grasses, turning marginal land into lean meat with low impact. Their meat's 50% less fat than beef, perfect for low-carb diets. Winters mean extra hay or corn, 24 to 30 pounds daily for adults. Rotational grazing heals soil, boosts biodiversity, and cuts carbon emissions. Their wild side needs special handling. Curved alleys calm them for vet checks. Drones and RFID tags track sprawling herds. Dan O'Brien says, bison keep their wild spirit but fit our healthy American vibe. Becky Johnson adds, bison ranching's perfect for rural life. Demand's up with Canadian imports filling gaps. What's next when it's time to process? Bison processing is small-scale, 60,000 head yearly. Wide paths mimic herd flow. For humane, stress-free stunning, keeping meat tender and ethical. Butchers hand-cut these huge carcasses with care, ensuring top hygiene. The meat packed with omega-3s for heart health, zinc, iron and B12. Bison burgers have 20% fewer calories than beef, but deliver bold flavor great for BBQ or stir fries. Nothing's wasted, bones make pet treats, hides become leather, organs turn into supplements. Respect from ranch to table. Try check eye for grilling, short ribs for slow cooking. But why are bison such a big deal? Bison are cultural giants, sacred to tribes for centuries. Today, native ranches like Cherokee Valley blend heritage with sustainability. They're economic stars too, creating jobs in ranching and processing across South Dakota and Montana. Eco-tours like Yellowstone's draw crowds. Hormone-free and grassland-friendly, bison fit America's green push. The market's at $496,700,000, 0 cents, growing fast. From near extinction, bison show we can sync with nature. Sarah Gleason says, "Bison changed my life, maybe yours too." Bison or beef tonight? Comment 1 for bison, 2 for beef. Will you try a bison burger at Whole Foods? Share your recipe! If this peek into America's frontier hooked you, like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Cook a bison burger posted with Papaba. Cook a bison burger, we'll share the best. See you next time, uncovering how our world rolls. Hello friends! The Netherlands, no bigger than Maryland, is the world's second largest agricultural exporter. How does it rival the US, the global leader? By using half its land for high-value crops like eggs, meat, cheese, tomatoes, and peppers. Innovation runs in its veins. In 2024, Dutch farms earned $140 billion, 0 cents, with growth steady into 2025. Shockingly, while the US faces a record $49.5 billion, 0 cents trade deficit in FY 2025, up from $31.8 billion, 0 cents, the Netherlands boasts a €42.8 billion surplus. This tiny nation pioneered greenhouses with robots and AI supercharging yields and saving water. But storm clouds loom. Skyrocketing energy costs, worker shortages, and pollution rules threaten its lead. How did the Dutch build this farming empire? And can they teach the US to grow more with less? In the 13th century, a fifth of the Netherlands was underwater. Dikes and windmills reclaimed land for small farms. Then World War II hit. In 1944, Dutch rail workers struck against Nazi occupation. The Nazis cut food supplies, starving 20,000 in the hunger winter. Could this tragedy spark a revolution? Post-war, food security was everything. Minister Sico Mansholt merged farms and funded research, making Wageningen University a global powerhouse. Its ideas fuel startups from plant-pounded electricity to robotic harvesters and greenhouses spanning Spain to China. In Westland, near Rotterdam, greenhouses glow orange and purple at night, their lamps turning winter into summer. Margaret Lawyer runs Lawyer Cucumbers, a third-generation tomato farm. A grandfather's farm? Nothing like this, she laughs. Plants here grow a foot a week. Margaret's team prunes vines to avoid a jungle. The Netherlands exports 900,000 tons of tomatoes yearly, despite its chilly climate. Bees pollinate every plant, living in buzzing bee hotels. LEDs mimic sunlight, doubling efficiency. Water use down 90%, but 1 tablespoon grows a pound of tomatoes, not 50 gallons like elsewhere. But here's a twist. Humans still outpick robots, which miss ripe fruit in tangled vines. Can AI change that? Workers pick tomatoes at peak flavor using a color chart. Green, not ready, Margaret says. Ripe ones hit trucks overnight. AI cameras catch splits, while robots sort small or yellow tomatoes. Nearby, Arnoud Dien's VD Holland grows 85 million peppers hydroponically. Computers act as the farm's brain, tweaking heat, water, and light. Sticky traps zap bugs, soon scanned by AI, yields 12 times the global average. In Kentucky, John Smith, once a corn farmer, switched to Dutch-style greenhouses at App Harvest. Droughts crushed us, he says, but LEDs and hydroponics cut water 90%. Bright Farms in Texas delivers greens in 24 hours using Dutch tech. Can the US catch up? VD Holland exports 95% of its peppers via Rotterdam's ports, but greenhouses guzzle energy for 2 million homes. Some say Dutch tomatoes have a carbon footprint 6 times field-grown ones. The Ukraine war spiked costs, cutting Russian gas. Lawyer's farm runs its own power plant, warming greenhouses and selling extra energy. VD Holland drilled for geothermal power with a $46 million 0-cents bet. At Wageningen, Leo Marcellus says lights are life for plants. His LED/power used by half, boosting lettuce's flavor. But can tech beat a bigger crisis? The Netherlands leads Europe in meat with 4 million cows and 104 million chickens. Its dense farms emit the most ammonia per hectare, harming ecosystems with algae blooms. Government buyouts sparked protests. Wageningen's dairy campus tests floors separating cow waste to cut ammonia. Smart feeders find maize reduces methane. The US fights droughts in California but leads with USDA's $3 billion, $100 million, 0 cents for 141 projects across 60,000 farms, trapping carbon with cover crops. Will these fixes save farms, or is it too late? The Dutch can't feed 1 billion hungry people alone. Climate scientist Jonas Jagermeier says outdoor grains feed half the planet, but greenhouses aren't ready for corn. No silver bullet, he warns, but teamwork is close. His AI tools warn farmers of weather shifts. Linking them globally, Dutch tech meets American scale in app harvest and USDA projects, potentially boosting US exports 10 to 20%. The real Dutch export? A mindset of collaboration, rivals no more. They could feed the world. Subscribe to see how.